Hey there, thanks for watching. Happy Monday. So today is Monday, June 13th, and I'm coming to you live from Emerald Isle, North Carolina, which is an interesting place to be. So I mentioned earlier that we were doing some traveling. It was all by car. So we drove up yesterday, which is Sunday. And we met my sister here because this is kind of halfway between the two of us. She lives in Nashville. I'm in New York, New Jersey. Well, hello, Sab. It's so good to see you. How are you? How are you doing? So we drove, it was about a 9-hour trip yesterday from New York, New Jersey down to North Carolina. And the original plan was to rent an Airbnb, which we had. However, it was a big, giant, beautiful house, very airy, breezy, right on the water, on the marsh side. So it was marshy. Yes, Sab, I am very well, thank you. So we didn't get that. We got a very modest start. We started at about 1 o'clock. It was a 9-hour drive, so we got there at about 11:30, and my sister was like, we can't stand there, we can't stay here. She had gotten in at 5 p.m. And the reason, so we ended up not staying the night at that house because there were bugs. There were these big giant water bugs in the bathrooms and in the kitchen, and maybe one or two, you're like, all right, like it's, the trees or whatever, but these were like, they were huge, and we saw 6. Yeah, oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. Yeah, it was not pleasant. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Good to see you. So we got there were bugs. My sister was like, we're not staying. So we did a quick search for hotels in the area. Thankfully, we came up with this one, and so far, so good. Not fun to, I mean, for my sister, it was worse. We'd been on the road for 9 hours and we just wanted to sleep, but all our stuff was already packed. So we just didn't unpack. We kind of looked around. Um, we saw the bugs. I saw the bugs for myself and was like, no, we're not staying here. So we just moved over. My sister had to pack up all her stuff because she had been there for 5 hours. She'd unpacked. They bought groceries. It was a nightmare for her. So all's well that ends well. We went back. We got the groceries. I feel so bad for her because she like spent money on groceries. And then we have to communicate now with the owner of the Airbnb or she's communicating with the owner to get a refund because we didn't stay due to hello, Anthony, how are you? We didn't stay due to the condition of the property. So it's a bummer because we were kind of hoping for, hey, Roland Holland, good afternoon to you too. We were hoping for like a getaway at a house because there's something about all being in the same house and cooking together and whatnot, and just hanging out. But this hotel is gorgeous. I mean, it's very clean and it's very well stocked. So good deal. Clean towels. We like that. So we're still working. So we didn't get settled. I didn't get settled until around 1:30 in the morning. Hey, Adam, how's it going? How are you? Um, so we went to bed around 1:30 a.m. So I slept until about 6. No, I slept until 7:30. Then woke up and went to the gym, which was gorgeous and lovely. So that's how I started my day. And then we had our hot breakfast. I mean, who doesn't love a nice hotel? Here's the thing though, this is an expense. This is an added expense that none of us were expecting, and it just is. And time with family is always worth it. Comes a time though when you gotta kind of draw those lines, right? And you have to say, where are we going to draw lines between what we're going to spend and what we're not going to spend? Yay, Sandra, hello, so good to see you. Yes, Sab, absolutely. We're planning on making the most of the included amenities to get our money's worth, for sure. So the hot breakfast was out. Hot breakfast in a hotel is my downfall because they had individual packets of Nutella. Oh, so that's another thing. I have updates, you guys. We will get into financial independence goals and moves and strategies, I promise, because I got some of those too. Um, I have some positive updates, thank the good Lord Almighty. So breakfast was your standard hotel hot breakfast. Anytime, it's like a psychological thing. When I see unlimited amounts of things, I just want to eat everything. So they had your standard um, bacon, eggs, and home fries. They had hard boiled eggs. They had yogurt, which I don't do because of the sugar and the brands that they had. And they had a waffle station, and they had oatmeal. They had bagels and bread, which again I don't do because it's just not, they're not good. Oh man, and the same. Oh my gosh, it was insane, Sab. It was insane. I was like going crazy in my head, but I made myself start out with the protein. So I had some bacon and eggs. Um, and then what? And then I did indulge a little bit in the Nutella. I had some oatmeal with brown sugar, just a teaspoonful of brown sugar, and some Nutella on a waffle with sugar-free syrup and butter for the fat content to kind of slow the absorption to prevent that crash. So, update on my glucose and my sugar numbers. So, if you guys remember, I took the gestational diabetes test last week and I was bummed because I was sure that I failed. I took it on a Friday or Thursday or Friday. That's where you have to drink 50 grams of glucose, and then they measure your blood sugar an hour after. They want you under 130. And then I measured, you don't get the results until, the next day, or since it was Friday, it was a weekend. So I measured my blood sugar. So I drew the blood, left the appointment, went into the car. I had my glucose monitor with me. So I measured my blood sugar in the car. The number was 168, and I was devastated. I was freaking out because I had been aware of the gestational diabetes possibility through, this whole year, and trying to really eat to avoid that. So I tried to avoid sweets and really monitor my protein well. And really the biggest difference now in the way that I'm eating is I have to space out my meals into smaller meals, which I hate because I am used to eating 2 large meals a day and that's it. Because for me, the more I'm eating, the more I'm thinking about it, and it's just hard for me to stop. If I eat 6 small meals, it means I have to stop eating 6 times, and that for me is terrible. So, not the way I would prefer to eat normally, but in order to keep my blood sugar levels stable, I need to eat regularly, because here's the thing, if I don't eat for an extended period of time, my sugars will rise because my pancreas releases a whole bunch, or my pancreas releases insulin because it thinks that I'm dying, which is just the opposite way. Then it's not logical, but that's the way that it goes. And I see that if I haven't eaten after a certain amount of time, my numbers will go up. My fasting numbers are very high in the morning. I'm at like a 113 on a fasting number. So it's so frustrating. But the way to keep my numbers down is to eat more protein more often, which is not what feels good, not what is not what feels natural or beneficial to me. So it's kind of like an opposite psychology thing. But so this is what I thought on Friday, was that my number was a 168 and that I'd failed. Then I checked Saturday morning because with the online health records, good afternoon, good morning, Grace, good to see you. I'm just telling the story of my glucose test for gestational diabetes. So I checked the online portal in the morning the next day, and it turns out that according to the lab, my blood work was showing a sugar number of 126. So, which means that I passed with like 4 points by 4 points. So I don't know why the two numbers are different. I should have known not to get worked up over a finger stick number. Um, Again, I don't know why the two numbers are different, but I am going to run with it and thank the good Lord. I'm still going to eat, being mindful of my sugar, because that's just, oh my gosh, yes, Sab, thank you so much. I'm glad it came back okay too. Meaning there wasn't like a warning. Sometimes in the online portal, they will throw up a warning, like an exclamation mark. The warning that I did get was that my iron was low, which is quite common, I hear. And I'm already taking an iron supplement, like a couple iron supplements. And the vitamin that I'm taking also has iron in it. So I don't know why it's low, but I will work to correct that. Just take more iron, I guess, or maybe more frequently in the morning and at night, but it does upset my stomach. So I just have to take it with food. Oh my gosh, yes, exactly. That is exactly what I did, Grace. I went keto and cut out sugar. Here's the thing, though. there's clearly not a problem, but there's the potential of a problem, and I want to avoid a high birth weight. So I will continue to be mindful of my sugar going for interesting. Spa tone water. It doesn't upset the stomach. Sab, does that have iron in it? Spa tone. Oh, am I saying that right? Spatone, liquid iron? Hmm, excellent. Thank you for that. Very, very cool. Spatone. I may have to throw that in my Amazon cart. Thank you. I will credit you. Awesome. I have to take like two because I really I need a lot of iron. Um, excellent. Yes. Can't spell anemic though. Yeah. You know, and it's different in the UK and the US. So that's the good news is that my lab sugars came back lower, which is great news. It's like a relief, but at the same time, I want to, again, be mindful because the issue is that glucose crosses the placenta, but um, insulin does not. So if you're eating a lot of sugar, the baby could grow to be too big because you're eating a lot of sugar. So I am going to aim to moderate that. Although I did have Nutella this morning. I think it has something like, I want to say maybe 16 grams of sugar and 80 calories in those little, it was a 15-gram sachet, and I had one and a half, and it was such a treat. And I try to have my treats in the morning and stay pretty clean for the rest of the day, most of the time. I just try to stick with the recommended, I think it's like 30, 45 carbs per meal, 20 grams per protein, 3 meals, 2 snacks, 15 carbs per snack, and 10 grams of protein per snack. Anyway, okay. So that's the health, that's the life. Now into the financial independence part. And that's the part that gets a little bit not dicey, but this is a $1,500 outlay that I was not expecting. Worth every single penny because you will never get this time back. I will never have this time back with my mom and my sister and my sister's family and my family. My husband's here too. Oh, like a trooper. He's such a great guy. Sab, the eBay listing. Not great because we're going to be out of town for the next 2.5 weeks. So until July. So I have not listed one thing. I have things to list. I just haven't listed them. So not going great. What I have been doing was I did that article for the website and that I just have to do more of them. The plan is to do 10 of those articles for the rest of the month. So there's a process of planning out what I'm going to do, doing the research, doing the formatting, doing the writing, doing sort of the keywords, optimization. It's just a lot to think about. It's a lot. But I will get there. I will get there. And where is there? So that's another question that I have been thinking about is where is there and what's achievable and what does that look like for me? Because I felt like this was whoever said it's just there's so many things that just come along, and it's so true because something always, especially with kids, something always comes up. Even without kids, something always comes up. There were bugs in our rental. I'm not gonna, I wanted to find that comment about financial independence not being realistic with kids because something always comes up. Would I be willing to forego vacations for the next 5 years to become financially independent? No. And it's hard to think like that, but this time is so, it's a little funny. This time is so important and so wonderful. That's the thing, Sab. And there's a balance, I know, between being responsible and enjoying life. And that's what it is. So I simply have to make more money. I'm like, that's simply where it is. And it's usually on trips like this that I end up resetting and adjusting my outlook on life and my approach and my strategy. And so, as an example, 3 years ago, so in 2019, is that 4 years ago? We went down to Virginia Beach. This was before I was married. My sister and her husband had just gotten engaged. So it's just me and my mom and my sister, and I love that house. But that was when I decided it's tough. I know you can't get a higher pay rise, so you need to make more streams of income. Absolutely, Sab. How is your eBay listing going? Are you listing online? Do you have sort of streams in the works, in the process, in process? So in 2019 was when I decided that I was going to really work this YouTube thing. And I realized in 2019 I wasn't even monetized yet. I didn't get monetized until I think the end of 2019. So that was an interesting sort of milestone marker. And I like using um, these vacations as a milestone. Because if you think about it, when you were a kid, how many Christmas gifts? I heard this from someone. How many Christmas gifts can you remember? Stagnant. Also, you have maybe 100 things you still need to list. Just keep procrastinating. You know what, Sab? I hear you. Are all those 100 things worth listing, though? How much will you net from them? I would start with the highest ticket ones first, and then work your way down. I can 100% relate. If it were me, I would break it up and list 10 things a day for 10 days, and then you're done. That's what I would do rather than like looking at it, being overwhelmed, and then walking away, feeling like you have to do everything all at once. That's actually a good reminder, too, is that you don't have to do everything all at once. You can stagger. The important thing is just doing something. 50 of them are more profitable. Exactly. So do 5 things a day for 10 days, and then you're done. So for me, using our vacations as a milestone of where I am and how far I've come is really helpful because I always come back in a different headspace. And I think this year is probably one of the most powerful because obviously you're an all or nothing. I'm the same. I'm the same. I'm like, if I can't do all 100 of these things, then why even bother starting? Yeah, see, Sab, see, that's what I'm really trying to do, especially with the website, is just do one article. I don't have to do 100 articles, just do one. Just plan out the next 10, not, 5 million, just do 10 for this month. So that is, I'm trying to take my own advice. It's hard to take my own advice, but that's what I'm working on doing too. So again, using this time is for me, again, the summer and Christmas, the summer and December, July, December, kind of as midpoints in the year. My motivation has never been higher. Here's the thing. And I think I've stayed pretty consistent in the things that I'm interested in and the things that I'm working on. I just need to do more. That's simply it. I'm moving it like quarter steps a day, and I need to be taking 5 steps a day. So how would I do that? I would increase my output by 20 a day. And that's not hard because I think right now I'm at a level, again, I'm working at a level 4, and I need to be at a level 9 or 10 every day. Totally doable. It just takes focus and strategy and discipline, and that's all. Focus and strategy and commitment. I think those are the 2 words that I'm going to use. Because discipline can be a loaded, mixed word, I know, for many people, including myself. But you need discipline. So that's where I am. I love hotels too. It just feels like a new beginning, and it just feels all like clean and neat. Although I have to say, oh, it's my husband coming to say hi. I'm live streaming. How are you? No, you can. I mean, you can come in. No, okay. Hold on, guys. I'll be back, and I will come see you later. No, wait. Come back. I will talk to you later, guys.